Your heart is winter fire, January ember. My heart burns there too. He wasn't crazy about it, but it was the best he could do. He was afraid that if he preached around with it too long, worried it too much, he would end up getting the jitters and doing something much worse, or not doing it at all. He didn't want that to happen. The moment she had taken to speak to him had been a striking moment where then he wanted to mark it in his memory. Probably Beverly had a crush on some bigger boy, a sixth or maybe even a seventh grader, and she would think that maybe that boy had sent the haiku. That would make her happy, and so the day she got it would be marked would, would be marked in her memory, and although she would never know it had been Ben Hanscom who marked it for her, that was alright. He would know. He copied his completed poem onto the back of the postcard, the printing in block letters, as if copying out a ransom note rather than a love poem. Clipped his pen back into his pocket and stuck the card in the black in the back of hot rod. He got up then and said goodbye to Mrs. Statter on his way out. Goodbye, Ben. Mrs. Statter said, enjoy your summer vacation, but don't forget about the curfew. I won't. He strode through the glassed-in passageway between the two buildings, enjoying the heat there. Greenhouse effect, he thought smugly, followed by the cool of the adult library. An old man was reading the news in one of the ancient, comfortably overstuffed chairs in the reading room. Old Cove, Old Cove, the headline just below the masthead blazed. Dallas pledges us troops to help Lebanon if needed. There was also a photo of Ike shaking hands with an Arab in the rose garden. Ben's mama said that when the country elected Humphrey president in 1960, maybe things would get moving again. Ben was vaguely aware that there was something called a recession going on, and his mama was afraid she might get laid off. A smaller headline on the bottom half of page 1 read, "Police Humber Psychopath goes on." Ben pushed open the library's big brown door and stepped out. There was a mailbox at the boot of the walk. Ben fished the postcard from the back of the book and mailed it. He felt his heartbeat speed up a little as it slipped out of his fingers. What if she knows it's me somehow? Don't be a stoop, he responded, a little alarmed at how exciting that idea seemed to him. He walked up Kansas Street, hardly aware of where he was going and not caring at all. A fantasy had begun to form in his mind. In it, Beverly Marsh walked up to him, her gray green eyes wide, her auburn hair tied back in a ponytail. I want to ask you a question, Ben, this make-believe girl said in his mind. And you've got to swear to tell the truth. She held up the postcard. Did you write this? This was a terrible fantasy. This was a wonderful fantasy. He wanted it to stop. He didn't want it to ever stop. His face was starting to burn again. Ben walked and dreamed and shifted his library books from one arm to the other and began to whistle. You will probably think I'm horrible, Beverly said, but I think I want to kiss you. Her lips parted slightly. Ben's own lips were suddenly too dry to whistle. I think I want you to, he whispered.